In the headlines, Turaki-led PDP faction heads to appeal court after Ibadan Convention ruling. Troops destroys 53 illegal refineries, arrest 81 in Niger Delta. Resident doctors give federal government fresh 4 weeks to meet demands. On the foreign scene, Burkina Faso, junta dissolves political parties. Hello and welcome to News Update on Trust TV. I am Mimuna Bagudu. Now, the Tanimu Turaki-led faction of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has ordered its lawyers to appeal a federal high court judgment in Ibadan that nullified its November 2025 national convention. The court ruled that the caretaker committee led by Mohammed Abdurrahman and Samuel Anyawu remains the party's recognized national working committee pending a valid convention, and barred Turaki's faction from parading as national officers. Reacting, the faction said it will challenge the ruling and urged members to remain calm, insisting the rebirth movement remains on course. The convention was invalidated following a suit by aggrieved stakeholders over alleged irregularities in delegate lists and congresses, with a similar case earlier filed by the Wike-aligned faction in Abuja. Now, commuters and other road users were stranded for hours on Friday after rainfall triggered flooding on the Odo-Iyaloro Bridge near Maryland, Lagos. Several motorists attributed the flooding and the resulting severe traffic congestion to blocked drainage channels in the area. Although the rainfall was light, and water reportedly accumulated on the bridge after the drainage system failed to discharge it, significantly slowing vehicular movement. The disruption caused traffic to spill over onto the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway and stretched along Ikorodu Road, compounding delays for motorists traveling towards Maryland and surrounding neighborhoods. Some drivers blamed poor drainage maintenance and called on the relevant authorities to clear the blocked channels to prevent a recurrence. And now to Kaduna State, where the state governor Obasani has performed the groundbreaking for the reconstruction and upgrading of the 60-kilometer internal road network at Ahmadu Bello University, ABU Zaria. The project aims to improve access, boost academic activities, and create pedestrian-friendly, disability-accessible routes. Meanwhile, the governor also received multiple awards from health sector unions for revitalizing healthcare delivery in the state. Trust TV's correspondent reports.
Governor Obasani explained that the road reconstruction project is designed to improve the university's infrastructure, making it easier to host conferences, convocation ceremonies, and other academic events. The project includes proper drainage, modern lighting, pedestrian walkways, and disability-accessible routes, all intended to enhance teaching and learning on campus.
My administration is guided by the principle that education is a shared responsibility. Investment that enhance learning, research, and innovation are investment in our collective future. It is on this basis that the Kaduna State government has chosen to finance and facilitate the reconstruction and upgrading of the internal road network on this campus. We recognize that the quality of physical infrastructure has a direct impact on academic productivity, safety, and the overall well-being of students and staff.
The Vice Chancellor of ABU, Professor Adamu Ahmed, commended Governor Sani's intervention, describing it as both strategic and compassionate at a crucial time for the university.
Your Excellency, your decision to come to the aid of the university at this crucial stage is therefore both strategic and compassionate. The upgrade of a significant portion of this road network represents an important investment in the future of teaching, learning, research, and campus life.
The construction and upgrading of the internal road network at Ahmadu Bello University, ABU Samari Local Government Area, Kaduna State, by my home Senator Basani, Governor of Kaduna State, on Tuesday, 27 January 2026, to the glory of Almighty Allah, on the benefit.
In a separate event, Governor Obasani received 5 awards from different health sector unions, recognizing his effort to revitalize healthcare delivery and improve personnel welfare since assuming office.
We are gathered to commemorate 3 interrelated milestones: the flag of the distribution of medical equipment and ambulances to primary healthcare facilities across the state, the commissioning of the Kaduna State Primary Healthcare Board headquarters, and the formal induction of 1,800 newly recruited health workers into our service. Taken together, these actions reflect a deliberate and coordinated approach to building a resilient, responsive, and people-centered primary healthcare system.
The awards came from Kaduna State Council of Medical and Health Workers Union of Nigeria, National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives, Kaduna State Chapter of Environmental Health Officers Association of Nigeria, National Association of Community Health Practitioners of Nigeria, Association of Medical Laboratory Technicians and Assistants of Nigeria.
Now, the Defense Headquarters says troops of Operation Delta Safe destroyed 53 illegal refining sites and arrested 81 suspected oil thieves across the Niger Delta in January. Briefing journalists in Abuja, the Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Michael Onoja, said the operations targeted illegal refining, sea piracy and other criminal activities, leading to the recovery of arms and ammunition. He said further offensives in parts of Akwa Ibom and Delta states led to additional arrests, while over 80 militants surrounded and eight Cameroonian nationals were rescued during patrols along the Bakassi waterways. In the southeast, Onaja said troops of Operation Udoka neutralized terrorists, arrested 22 suspects, and rescued 11 kidnapped victims, noting a significant reduction in crime due to sustained military pressure. Now, the Defense Headquarters says it is working with other government agencies to trace and halt the use of drones by terrorists, with investigations already at an advanced stage. Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Michael Onoja, said the move follows rising drone attacks by insurgents in the northeast, adding that concrete actions would emerge in the coming days or months. He noted that agencies with the capacity to curb drone use are involved, and decisive steps will be taken to block access by non-state actors. Addressing claims of extortion at military checkpoints in Bauchi, Onoja described them as unsubstantiated allegations, assuring that investigations would follow if evidence is provided. He also said the return of Nigerian refugees from Cameroon reflects improved security, while troops under Operation Hadinkai continue sustained operations against Boko Haram and ISWAP, neutralizing terrorists, arresting collaborators, and dismantling networks. Now, Bello Turji's group has reportedly demanded 200 million naira for the release of bandits leader Abdullah Kai, who played a key role in negotiating the Jibia peace deal in Katsina State. A security source in Jibia told Trust TV that the initial demand was 400 million naira, but it was later negotiated down to 200 million naira. The money, which includes 100 million naira as a refund from a failed arms deal and 100 million naira as ransom, has been delivered to Turji's camp, and Lankai's release is expected imminently. On Thursday evening, around 300 members of Lankai's gang carrying weapons gathered to receive their leader but returned home disappointed. With the payment confirmed Friday morning, sources say Lankai is expected back in Jibia shortly. The situation arose following an alleged controversial and failed arms transaction between Turji's camp and associates of Lankai, leaving residents of Jibia in confusion and concern over the escalating tension. Now, scrap sellers in Gombe State, popularly known as Bolajari, are appealing to the state government to lift the ban on their trade, now in its third week. The suspension followed government concerns that the sector has allegedly facilitated theft of public and private property. Trust TV's Hassan Lawan Koli reports.
The ban, aimed at sanitizing the sector, has left thousands of operators struggling. Speaking on behalf of the association, caretaker chairman of the Gombe State Bolajari Association, Adamu Aliyu, said the suspension has affected an estimated 100,000 members across the state, exposing them and their families to severe economic hardship.
Mun haramta duk wani mai yin bolajari a gida ko a cikin lungu.
We insisted that all our members must continue the business openly, banning operations in homes or indoors. This is part of our effort to sanitize our business.
Ya tashi in an dare tai ko kayan gaskiya aka wada da kana karba gari ya waye wannan zai taimaka mabattan shi da suke wurin shagon shi su zama wakilan mu wajen gane me yake siya me yake sayarwa.
Some scrap sellers describe the ban as devastating, stressing that Bolajari is their only source of livelihood. We solely depend on Bolajari to earn a living. Hardship is biting hard, as we are now 3 weeks grounded. It is not easy at all. While acknowledging the presence of criminal elements within the trade, operators urge the government not to punish law-abiding sellers. There are a lot of bad eggs in this business. However, we urge the government to consider law-abiding business owners like us and lift the ban. We are ready to cooperate fully. The association says it remains committed to working with the state government and security agencies to ensure compliance with the law, while appealing for an urgent review of the ban to ease the economic hardship faced by its members. Hassan Lawan Koli, Trust TV News, Gombe.
This is news updates on Trust TV coming up after the break. Resident doctors give federal government fresh 4 weeks to meet demands. Do stay with us. More news when we return. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is the news update on Trust TV. A look at our top stories once again. Turaki-led PDP faction heads to appeal court after Ibadan Convention ruling. And troops destroys 53 illegal refineries, arrest 81 in Niger Delta. Now moving on to more stories. The Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors, NAD, has given the federal government a 4-week ultimatum to fully implement outstanding agreements on salaries, allowances and welfare. The decision followed the association's NEC meeting held in Jos Plateau State from January 25th to 29, 2026. NAD acknowledged progress on reinstatement of disengaged doctors, CONMES arrears and assurances on promotion and salary payments, but expressed concern over delays in approving CONMES 3 as entry-level and non-payment of professional allowances in the 2026 budget. The association warned of worsening labor relations in some hospitals and called for urgent action to improve doctors' welfare, training funding and health infrastructure. Now, the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has denied claims that a court order halted enforcement of the sachet alcohol ban, saying it has not been served with any injunction. The Director General Mojisola Adeyeye said enforcement resumed with legislative backing and is aimed at protecting children, not crippling businesses. She explained that sachet alcohol poses public health risks due to high alcohol content, easy concealment, and underage access. Adeyeye said the policy dates back to 2018, with manufacturers given a 5-year moratorium, later extended, before enforcement resumed following Senate intervention. She added that alcohol remains regulated by NAFDAC and is not banned outright, stressing that the focus is on harmful packaging formats. The federal government has approved 14.6 billion naira for the procurement of modern boats and ferries to replace unsafe wooden vessels and improve safety, trade, and passenger movement on Nigeria's inland waterways. Former Managing Director of the National Inland Waterways Authority, Bola Oyebamiji, disclosed these in Osun State during a courtesy visit by the Coalition of Maritime Journalists, who also presented him with a letter nominating him as the most friendly maritime chief executive officer. Oyebamiji said the boats and ferries would be deployed to major riverine states including Niger, Benue, Kogi, Kwara, and Kebbi, where waterways remain vital for transportation and commerce. He noted that outdated wooden boats and unsafe practices have contributed to frequent accidents, stressing that the new vessels would enhance safety and reduce risks on inland waterways. According to him, improved water transport will also strengthen food supply chains by enabling faster and cheaper movement of farm produce from rural areas to urban markets. Earlier, the chairman of the Coalition of Maritime Journalists, Frank Meke, commended Oyebamiji for his accessibility and support for journalists, describing the recognition as a testament to cooperation between regulators and the media. It was a moment of deep emotion, sorrow, and sober reflection at the Chief Diprieme Alamiyegbese Memorial Banquet Hall, Government House, Yanagwa, as dignitaries gathered to pay glowing tributes to the late Deputy Governor of Bayelsa State, Senator Lawrence Oriajapo, during a special tribute session held in his honor. Speaking at the event, former Nigerian President Goodluck Jonathan described the late Deputy Governor as a committed and selfless public servant whose life and legacy should be emulated by politicians across the country. Trust TV's Friday Ebimobowe Peter completes the report.
The former president of Nigeria, Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, said his passing was a painful loss, noting that Bayelsa State had lost an extraordinary statesman.
I would say that he was an exceptional politician. He did his work very diligently. He related with people very well. And when he passed, the whole state was sad. We've lost a good man. We've lost an extraordinary politician, a man that has his own conviction and belief in the right thing.
Governor of Bayelsa State, Senator Doyeduri, who was visibly emotional, recounted the invaluable support and contributions of the late Deputy Governor to the development of the state. He said Senator Lawrence Oriajapo was dependable and capable, adding that he had full confidence in his ability to effectively manage the affairs of the state whenever he was absent.
I am left alone today to complete this journey. We started it together. Where is your support, Lawrence? Where is your advice, Lawrence? My heart aches that I can hand over the state to Lawrence and travel for 1 week and travel for 2 weeks without fear.
In his remarks, the immediate past governor of Bayelsa State and senator representing Bayelsa West Senatorial District, Senator Henry Saraka Dixon, reflected on his decision to appoint Senator Lawrence Orijakpo as deputy governor. He expressed satisfaction with that decision, describing the late deputy governor as a man of integrity and dedication. Also speaking on behalf of the family, Engineer Edward Solomon highlighted the integrity and upright character of the late senator while appreciating the Bayelsa state government for the honor accorded him.
So I feel happy that this man that people didn't know much, people now knew what I knew. And over the years, people have seen what I saw. And people appreciate what he did.
Lawrence Orijakpo was just not a brother. He was just not a father. He was a guide, a mentor, and a source of strength to our family.
Tributes were also received from members of the National and State Assemblies, the Bayelsa State Council of Traditional Rulers, the Bayelsa Elders Forum, PANDEF, the Ijaw National Congress, INC, the Ijaw Youth Council, IYC, and other prominent dignitaries. From Yenegua, the Bayelsa State capital, Friday, Ebimobowe Peter, Trust TV News.
And now in business, the price of Nigeria's Bonny light crude rose to $70.30 per barrel from $64 per barrel last week, representing an increase of about 10% and the highest level recorded this year. Similarly, the price of Brent crude, which is used to benchmark other crude grades, rose to $70.15 per barrel from $66 per barrel, while Moban crude increased to $68.01 per barrel from $65.20 per barrel. Earlier in the week, petrol stations had marked up their pump prices to an average of 850 naira per litre, up by about 14.3% from 750 naira it sold on Monday, attributing the price hike to the rise in crude oil price. The Dangote refinery and oil marketers had also justified increases in global crude oil prices, explaining that crude oil is the main determinant of input cost. But while crude oil price increased by 6.2%, the local retail price increased by 14.3%, indicating that local oil companies more than doubled the rate of increases in their main input cost, crude oil. Now, away from Nigeria, Burkina Faso's military junta has dissolved all political parties nationwide, repealing laws governing their activities. The decision was announced after a Council of Ministers meeting chaired by junta leader Captain Ibrahim Traore. Minister of Territorial Administration, Emily Zebro, said the move was part of efforts to refound the state, citing political fragmentation and weakened national cohesion. All assets belonging to the dissolved parties will be transferred to the state, with new draft laws to be submitted to the Transitional Legislative Assembly. The junta also approved a $65 billion National Development Framework, the Reliance Plan covering 2026 to 2030 to guide socio-economic recovery under military rule. And now in sports, Nigeria's men handball team, the Golden Arrows, defeated Guinea 30-28 in the 5th place playoff at the African Men's Handball Nations Cup in Kigali, Rwanda. Despite being reduced to 6 players after a red card, Nigeria led 16-14 at halftime and held on for the win. Aziz Suleiman was named MVP with 8 goals, matched by John Shagari. The victory sets up a decisive 5th-place play-off against Angola, with the winner securing Africa's final ticket to the 2027 IHF Men's World Championship in Germany. With that, we've come to the end of News Update on Trust TV. Follow us on all of our social media platforms and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more news. Join us at 9 p.m. for News Hour. I am Maimuna Bagudo. Thanks for watching.